And we are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Hello, and welcome to News Today with me, Emefa Akosiadati. And in our headlines this afternoon, the ECOWAS Community Court has dismissed Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo's application seeking to suspend her removal and reinstate her with full entitlement. And as well in the bulletin, Ghana Water Limited forces to source water from a mining pit to supply its Bonsa water treatment plant, following severe situation in the Bonsa River caused by upstream illegal mining activities.
A few boreholes in the system which we had to depend on, but that isn't the best because it isn't enough for the people. So currently we are looking at the mine lake pit with Anglo Gold.
And in our Dear Mahama Stop Galamsey series, we'll tell you how children in the Agana East District are paying heavy price for illegal mining. Meanwhile, Cabinet approves Public Tribunals Bill to allow illegal mining cases to be handled by public tribunals for quicker prosecution.
And so one of the things Cabinet did the last time was to pass the Public Tribunals Bill so that we'll push issues to do with illegal mining to the public tribunals.
For these and more, please stay with us. We appreciate your company this afternoon. First in the news, the ECOWAS Community Court has this morning dismissed an application filed by former Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo seeking interim measures to suspend her removal and restore her to office with full entitlement. According to the court, the application failed to meet the criteria required for the grant of interim relief. It held that Justice Torkornoo had not demonstrated any imminent or irreparable harm that would justify the urgency of the request, especially as the application was filed almost 3 months after the alleged violation. The court further noted that the applicant's own conduct undermined her claim as urgency. As a result, it declined to assess the remaining requirements for provisional measures, which it described as cumulative with the request for interim promotion measures, also deemed unsubstantiated. The court dismissed the application in its entirety. Dismissing the preliminary objection, the court held that Justice Gertrude Torkornoo had a prima facie case of a violation of her fundamental human rights, and that ruling the court had jurisdiction to hear the case. The Attorney General has been given 30 days to file his response to former Chief Justice Gertrude Torkornoo's case. We've been joined on phone by, of course, her lawyer, lead counsel, lawyer Ayikwe Otu, this afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. So the court said the application did not meet the urgency threshold and cited the applicant's own conduct. How do you respond to this specifically?
Well, I don't see anything newsworthy about what we are talking about. We're all in this country. When the government was sued in the ECOWAS Court, we knew exactly what the lady was asking, and yet we went ahead and announced a new Chief Justice. The person went through vetting. The minority tried to draw attention to the pendency of these issues. Parliament will not have none of that. The minority had to work out. Eventually, the person nominated was vetted, and the person was then sworn into office. What do you think is the effect of all this on the case? They have place a fear complete, on them. That, look, we have done all these things already. So what's the point of you going to hear this application? So to me, this thing is not newsworthy. There's nothing to talk about because we all know that as we speak today, there is a new Chief Justice who has even been sworn in. So what are we looking for? You
but you
think
didn't
the
withdraw the
ECOWAS Court will say
application, did you?
reverse it and go back or what? There's nothing.
But
That's why they are saying, let us go into the merits of the case. Since the application was filed, they have refused to respond to the case itself. And the court is saying, go and file your response within 30 days and come and let us go into this matter. As for this preliminary offense, it's of no use, it's of no value because you have fixed them with fiat accompli already. You've done all that you want to do. So we'll hear this matter. Let us go into the full matter itself.
Okay.
That is my take on this matter.
So, per our simple understanding, this does not affect the larger or the substantive matter at all, in any way?
At all, because when this case was filed, the first thing they told everybody was that the ECOWAS Court has no jurisdiction. Some of us kept telling them that it is not true. The ECOWAS Court operates whether or not a case is pending in your country. ECOWAS Court will still hear, so long as it has to do with the violation of human rights. But they were too full of themselves, kept saying that the court would dismiss it because there are pending cases in the Supreme Court, High Court, and so on, so which have not been dealt with. Now that ruling has gone against them, that they should file their process and let's hear the matter. Rather, they are talking about this, excuse my language, useless ruling. What is the point? What would that achieve when they have gone ahead and done everything that they wanted to do on this end regarding the new appointment?
Is this,
what is about
is this normal?
To me, it is of no news. But what is newsworthy is that their preliminary objection has been dismissed and they have been given 30 days to file their processes.
Okay, and so you're proceeding with or without? You're just you're proceeding to the most substantive matter.
That is it. That is the position.
Okay. Okay. What's the general position anyway, that when a matter is in court, are you in any way suggesting that the actions that happened in Ghana, both in parliament, the minority walking out and all of that, had a certain impact on this particular preliminary matter in the ECOWAS Court?
I'm saying that I am only the substantive chief. I'm only a suspended chief justice. My matters are pending both in Ghana and ECOWAS. So stay your hands and let's see what the ruling will be. You said, no, I am going ahead to appoint a new chief justice. And you did that. And you even swore the person in. Why are you jubilating that an interim application has been dismissed? Because that interim has been overtaken by events.
Right.
That's the point I'm making.
Right.
Why didn't they just hold their horses to allow the ruling to come? For example, this ruling has come saying that it's okay, now there's no interim application. But all the applications were pending, and they still went ahead and did what they did.
Right. That's quite understandable. Thank you for joining us this afternoon and bringing this clarity to this matter.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Away from that, Ghana Water Limited has been forced to turn to a mining pit at Anglo Gold Company to supply its Bonsa water treatment plant, the lifeline of potable water for the Takwa municipality. The plant has been completely shut down after illegal upstream mining turned the Bonsa River into a thick choking sludge just 3 weeks after a costly dredging exercise. The plant's raw water intake has already been buried under layers of mud and silt, rendering it unusable. Speaking to my colleague Faustina Safo on Prime News, Ghana Water Limited Public Relations Officer Stanley Mate warned that the company is racing against time, conducting feasibility studies to find an alternative water source before the municipality faces a full-blown water crisis.
There are a few boreholes in the system which we had to depend on, but that isn't the best because it isn't enough for the people. So currently we are looking at the mine lake pit with Anglo Gold. And so we have met with the management of Anglo Gold today. We've had very serious discussions, and then we are sending consultants into the area to do feasibility studies. And then we'll see how quick we can lay pipes from the place to our treatment plant. Then we can treat the water from the mine lake pit. The mine lake pit is such that they have dug into almost into the aquifers, and so there's a lot of water that is coming out of the aquifers, and they have to pump it. They even have to treat it before pumping back into the Bonsa, but it is downstream our plant. So what we want to do now is to set up a booster station where we can divert this water into our treatment plant directly, not into the river, but to go directly into an aerator, into our treatment plant. That will take it through the treatment process, and then we can get water for the people of Tarkwa.
Well, we're joined by the president of KNUST UTAG chapter, Professor Eri Agbavari. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. So you have just heard what we've just been saying about the Bonsa River. We also know UTAG's position on illegal mining. As of this afternoon, what's still your position, and how does this news come to you?
Yeah, thank you very much, and your viewers. Our position remains the same. We are against all forms of mining in terms of the environment, the water bodies, and the farmlands. That has not changed. And when we made this position, we knew what we are witnessing today was going to happen. And for me, this development is very interesting. And it is also, it has come very quickly. I knew it was going to come, but it has been very fast than we expected, or I expected, that there's going to be this water crisis, and that if we don't take any decisive steps, it is going to happen, and it is what has happened. And now that it has happened, this should remind us that very soon, water that used to be free gift of nature is no longer going to be. And then as the GW man was speaking, they are now going to pump it and then send it to treatment plant. Mind you, we already know that when they are treating this water, they are only just making the water just clear. It does not in any way remove the heavy metals. It does not in any way. And so if they have been mined there, which of course we know what goes into those mining, and then they want to treat it, well, I don't know the level of treatment they want to do, but we know for a fact that that treatment will never be the wholesome one we want.
Right.
And so I'm afraid that this situation we face is not going to continue to go on that tangent, and that Ghanaians must brace themselves.
What would UTAG do then?
UTAG, you know, we are just a union, we just make advocacy. We're not going to go on strike because this has happened. They said to be forewarned is to be armed. We warned, and now the consequences of the warning had come.
Okay.
The people are the ones to suffer for it. And then, unfortunately, the vulnerable ones are going to be the victim.
So we're not expecting UTAG to use one of those advocacy medium, which is strike, to strike the government back in line?
What would that yield? Because if the government will tell you today that we are making effort, compare our effort with that of the previous administration, they will say we are making effort. But like I stated elsewhere before, the effort is in nowhere comparable to the expected end of the water or the streams improving. Now, as the man spoke, the turbidity can no longer even be measured. And so that is why it is desilted. So if it is desilted, then it tells you the magnitude. It is no longer water, but it's something else. So we just have to fold our arms and watch.
Right. Well, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Quite a painful one to end on. Fold our hands and watch, which won't be the good one. But thank you so much, Professor Agbavari, for joining us on the news this afternoon. And away from that, or still in that area, children in Kwenyako and Prestea in the Agana East District are paying the hidden price of illegal mining miles away from the town, the Bonsa River, once their lifeline now runs brown and polluted, forcing families to risk illness just to fetch water from it. School days are disrupted and childhoods are overshadowed by sickness. That's more in today's episode of Dear Mahama, Stop Galamsey.
And say young Colana Yesisono that she ever
12-year-old Kofi should be in class 6. Instead, he's repeating class 5. He did not fail. He fell sick for a week, missing his exams. His family says the illness came from the Bonsa River, polluted by illegal mining upstream.
I am going to tell you so far. I'm Fakase. Minja Galena and Cassan and Mijale Dacro. We are a family shaman tell some you could school and miss the award in Ministry. Now, made that one miss made that some intimate all in point in us. Until woman will do no more Tomino. Now, we will be a school now, McCoy, no coin our son's society, what's in my years absentee. Welcome, my name.
Kofi admits he loves bathing in the river. Today, he only uses the Bonsa to wash his clothes. For many households, the Bonsa River is the only water source for drinking, bathing, and washing, and the impact on children's education is growing. Some miss classes, and others arrive late or tired. 14-year-old Kelvin Tifo from Prestea Basic School is one of them.
Pipes are not flowing because of the illegal mining going around. It makes the water unsafe. They use mercury for doing that illegal mine. That makes the water contaminated for human beings. So if you drink it, it makes us ill. I am happy to be a Ghanian. But sometimes I feel like I don't want to be a Ghanaian because of these bad things going around in this country.
So let's talk about things we can do to conserve our water bodies. How can we conserve our water bodies? Yes.
Teachers in both communities confirm this is a daily challenge for many people.
Since we opened up school, we've not even get water, and it's about the 4th week this. We've not even getting water. And it affects even our academic work. Because the children need to go and fetch water from other sources, which may even delay our the resumption of our classes. It's very terrible. We don't know even how to control it. Because usually we used to report to school 6 a.m. By 6:30 we are observing silent reading. You need to sit. Now, since there's no water, they need to be roaming about searching for water. Classes now begin somewhere 7:38, which affects our normal academic contact hours. Of course, it is very terrible. It is very terrible.
Nana Obrebua has lived 81 years by the Bonsa. He feels the weight of disappointment. The sight of the river his generation is leaving behind haunts him.
Oh, the children, they are going to suffer. Mostly at my age, how long? Can I spend another 30 years? I can't spend more than 30 years. Even 10 years, only God knows. But my children and my grandchildren, they are going to suffer. I'm not happy. I'm worried.
I want the government to help us produce water for this country, and villages like ours, they have to get safe water for us to not be ill, and we should be healthy.
Kofi lost a year of progress in school. Kelvin starts most days with the burden of finding water. Across Ghanian and Prestea, parents and teachers say polluted water is now shaping in children's futures in ways they cannot control. If nothing changes, more pupils will fall behind, more families will struggle, and more futures will be affected. Emmanuel Jivanu, JoyNews, Central Region.
Well, President Mahama has been well announced that the cabinet has given the green light to the public tribunal bill to enable illegal mining offences to be tried before public tribunals to speed up prosecution and strengthen enforcement. He disclosed this when the Christian Council called on him on Tuesday.
And so I get the reports every day. Every day you find anti-galamsey, you find galamsey pits, people being arrested and all that. Another problem we have is so far, we've arrested more than 1,700 people. The courts to even process these people is a problem. So many of them we've been forced to grant them bail. And in some cases, when you go back to look for them, they've left the area. And so one of the things Cabinet did the last time was to pass the Public Tribunals Bill so that we'll push issues to do with illegal mining to the public tribunals, because they would adjudicate faster and let justice be seen to be done. And as the tribunals have it, they have a judge, and then they have 4 other members who either have a legal background or of a certain level of understanding of the law. And so if that comes, we would be able to process, these cases against illegal mining even quicker.
Now, still on illegal mining, 3 illegal miners have died in an underground explosion after sneaking into an abandoned Heath Goldfield shaft at Prestea in the Western region. Now, the victims reportedly used unauthorized routes to access the inactive mine, which caved in after thick smoke believed to have come from the explosive blast filled the tunnel. The incident has triggered concern amid claims that more miners may still be trapped. Heath Goldfield has expressed deep sorrow and says it is cooperating with police, the Minerals Commission and NIMOS to investigate, and recovery efforts continue. Here are excerpts of the statement by Heath Goldfield. Says that the company wishes to update the public and industry stakeholders on the unfortunate incident involving a group of illegal miners who infiltrated and were trapped within an inactive area of our underground workings on our Prestea concession. Preliminary reports indicate that these individuals used unauthorized routes to access a restricted area of the mine, leading to the tragic loss of 3 lives. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families and the entire Prestea community during this difficult period. Every loss of life, regardless of circumstances, is painful, and we stand with the affected families in grief and in sympathy. Now, Heath Goldfields Limited is cooperating fully with the relevant authorities, including the Ghana Police Service, the Minerals Commission, and the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, to support ongoing investigation and recover efforts. We commend their professionalism and swift responses. Basically, that is the excerpt of the statements that we have just read to you. In a related development, former workers of the Bogoso Prestea gold mine are demanding that the government fulfill the promises and agreements made to them. They want their outstanding leave arrears, the 2023 bonus and redundancy payments settled without delay. The aggrieved workers also say the Heath Goldfields deal has failed to address the concerns of miners, alleging that the company is treating workers unfairly.
Of the mine and that of the redundant workers continue to deteriorate. Under the guise of operational restructuring and claiming to be placing the mine under care and maintenance, Heath Goldfields has disengaged a substantial number of employees. The human cost and suffering by this disengagement is undeniable. The livelihood of long service
Away from illegal mining, Attorney General Dr. Dominic Ghanian has indicated that the delay in extraditing former Chief Executive Officer of Microfinance and Loans Center, MASLOC, Ferdinand Tamaklo, is dragging due to U.S. authorities' delay in triggering the process. Ferdinand Tamaklo was convicted in April 2024 and sentenced to 10 years imprisonment on 78 counts, including causing financial loss, theft, money laundering, and violation of public procurement laws, but attempts to get her to Ghana to serve her jail term. The Attorney General, Dr. Ayine, was summoned to Parliament on Tuesday to provide answers for the extradition process, and this was his response.
The request for the extradition of Sedina Christine Tamaklo Atienu was dispatched on 19 July 2024 through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to the Department of Justice of the United States of America for execution. Our office, that is the Office of the Attorney General, is awaiting the execution of our request to have her extradited to serve her prison sentence in Ghana. The International Cooperation Unit of the Attorney General's Department followed up on our request from the Department of Justice, the United States of the United States of America in September 2025. So if there is any impression being created that I am not taking any steps, this is the evidence that in September, that is just a month ago, I took the step of inquiring from the United States Justice Department the steps that they were taking in respect of the extradition. And they indicated that they are following their extradition procedures in executing the request, and that the fugitive will be extradited as soon as they have satisfied all the procedures.
Dr. Ayine has also been defending the hefty bail conditions investigative bodies impose on persons picked up for investigation on corruption and corruption-related acts, which has attracted criticisms, especially in the Wuntumi, Giftioware, Osesibe, Entry, Edubahin cases, among others. In the case of the former boss CEO, Edwin Provincial, he had to get the Human Rights Court to beat down his bail condition from 60 to 30 million cedis on Tuesday. The Attorney General, Dr. Dominic Ayine, however, believes these bail conditions are necessary.
Speaker, I have already made it abundantly clear that the Economic and Organized Crime Office and other law enforcement agencies under my ministry are not acting arbitrarily. Bail depends on the crime, the gravity of the crime. And so what we are seeing now is that the sums involved in the criminal investigations are very huge. And because they are very huge, if you set very low bail conditions in terms of the sums, the likelihood is that when the person, the suspect, escapes or is unavailable to stand trial, whatever you are able to extort in justification will not be able to offset the sum that is involved, the criminal liability that is involved. So, for instance, if you have a situation where the suspect is accused of, let's say, causing financial loss to the state in the sum of 1 billion Ghana cedis, or stealing in the sum of 31.1 million Ghana cedis, you cannot set bail terms that are, unjustifiably low. So it is the magnitude of the offenses we are dealing with that dictates that we set bail sums that reasonably justify the crimes that have been committed or alleged to have been committed.
Now let's learn a few things this afternoon. We've got Professor Kwejo Epieje-Tua. He is a law lecturer at the University of Ghana. Prof, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. You certainly have heard what the Attorney General has been saying on bail conditions, but the conversation about abuse of rights of suspects has been arising occasionally. What's your position on what he says, just opposing it on the media conversations?
The issue raises the question of the relationship between human rights and criminal law. The relationship can be cordial and at the same time can be confrontational at a certain point in time. Here we are talking about the fact that sometimes criminal law can be harsh in its application. And when it so happens, human rights law will have to be applied to mitigate the harshness of the application of criminal sanctions or any aspect of criminal law. And here we see a situation where the Human Rights Court has come in to say that the bail condition is being too harsh. Bail should be used as a means to punish a suspect or an accused person. Bail is to be applied to ensure that the person who is applying for the bail will not interfere with the investigations or be a flight risk, that is to run away from criminal justice, and among a few other situations. So in this context, the court coming to that conclusion indicates that bail is being used as a means to punish the accused person in this matter. And so if that, the court would then have to come in to make sure that the rights of the accused person in this case is protected, while at the same time ensuring that criminal justice will be served. And so I think that's the basis for the court coming to that conclusion. So
Prof,
on the
again,
part of the Attorney General,
right. Please proceed.
I think he's also, sorry, you can go ahead.
Please proceed, Prof.
Okay, so on the part of the Attorney General, he is also trying to justify it on the grounds that is as a result of the gravity of the offense, which is also a good argument to make. And I believe the court may have taken that into account as well, because if the money given, the surety and the bail conditions are such that it is loose, if in case the accused person runs away, then it will be a difficult situation for the state to be able to offset the amount of money that the accused person is supposed to pay back to the state in case he loses the matter. Yeah, so there has to be a fine balancing act, which I think the court, based on the evidence before it, came to the conclusion that in this situation it was too harsh.
Prof, help me here. So is there any part of the bail bond that is quite discretionary to the person who is imposing it on the accused person, so much that we can say that it can be used as a punishment at all? Is it not just what the law says, or there's some bit of discretionary in any of it?
There is some discretion in the application of the bail conditions. And so that is why we also have to refer to application of discretion by state authority, that it should not be arbitrary and it should not be frivolous and so on. So those standards in the application of discretion should also apply.
Okay.
And I think that it's a point that the court will weigh in coming to the conclusion whether the bail condition is too harsh or not.
Right.
If that application is not, that test is not done, then it could lead to a situation where the accused person will have his rights violated. So the fact that the accused has committed an offense does not negate or delete the rights that he is entitled to enjoy as a human being. And in fact, as an accused person, new rights would accrue to him to ensure that at the end of the day, justice is served in his case or her case.
Prof, thank you so much. That's some legal education this afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
Now, away from that, TCL, in partnership with Ghana Air Conferences, has unveiled a new energy-efficient air conditioner. The company believes the device will help ease the pressure on household budgets while promoting cleaner, healthier, and more sustainable cooling solutions in Ghana. My colleague Ramat Bashiru has more in this report.
The collaboration between TCL and Ghana Air Conferences has produced an air conditioner designed not only to save energy, but also to purify indoor air. The partners say the new device is expected to become a game changer in the country's energy-saving efforts.
And yes, the TCL air conditions are officially launched. Let's show some love. This is the official unveiling of all the TCL air conditions right displayed here. We have from the saving, the freshing.
Sales manager of Electroland Ghana Limited, Vincent Azabak, says the new TCL air conditioner is engineered to drastically reduce power consumption while enhancing air quality.
TCL has two major air conditioners. The first one is known as the on-off. That's your traditional air conditioner. Then they have the inverter air conditioners that save you up to 40% on your power consumption. So we usually push for inverter air conditioners because you're able to save on your power consumption, and they are very silent. And as you can see from the new lineup, the new air conditioner comes with a new feature which introduces fresh air into your homes. So there's a particular pipe that introduces fresh air from outside, fresh air that's being filtrated definitely into your home. So you are breathing fresh air and you are getting the best cooling you can get.
Marketing manager for TCL West Africa, Fixon Dennis, also highlighted the advanced air purification technology integrated into the unit. He noted that the innovation positions TCL as a leading brand in sustainable cooling solutions on the Ghanaian market.
Today we've launched the Fresh In, we have the Breeze In, we have the Vox In, we have the Save In, we have the VRF, we have the light commercial ACs, we have the duct ACs. We have launched a whole range of all kind of air conditions you can find in the market. And then, as previously said by my boss, pricing is very competitive when it comes to this product. Also, aside pricing, as you said, we think about our consumers a lot. So you are giving them more technology in terms of saving money, more technology instead of quality air when they are breathing in their rooms, basically. So per our energy efficiency, you are saving up to 75% compared to normal air conditions. And you are saving up to 37% again compared to inverter air conditions. So it means that you are saving more than any other air condition, up to 75 plus 37%.
TCL believes the new air conditioner will help households cut electricity costs while promoting healthier living environments. The company and its partners say they will continue investing in innovations that support nationwide energy conservation. Ramat Bashiru's report for Joy News.
You're watching News Today. Please stay. The Small Pious comes up with business.
Hello, good afternoon and welcome to the business segment on Joy News Today with me, Pius Kujobaka. The National Pensions Regulatory Authority says it is taking bold steps to strengthen Ghana's pensions industry by expanding the role of actuaries across the entire sector. The announcement was made at the 2025 Actuarial Connect conference here in Accra. Here's more. Actuarial Connect conference, the National Pensions Regulatory Authority outlined sweeping reforms aimed at improving risk management in Ghana's pension ecosystem. The Chief Executive Officer of the authority, Christopher Buidi-Mensah, said the authority is preparing a legislation that will allow actuaries to play a more strategic leadership role in risk management within the second and third tier pension schemes.
As regulators, we are keen to see actuaries grow beyond compliance to become strategic leaders within companies. The NIC has already requested actuarial development plans from insurance and continues to support programs that build talent and public understanding of insurance. In pensions, while current law limits actuarial involvement to Tier 1, the National Pensions Regulatory Authority is reviewing guidelines to extend your expertise to both second and third tier schemes, especially in risk management and investment strategy.
Meanwhile, the Actuarial Society of Ghana has revealed it has achieved a major breakthrough in the establishment of Ghana's first ever life mortality table that could reshape both the pension and insurance industries. President of the society, Gufin Tim, says the data set will replace the country's long-standing reliance on mortality tables from foreign populations.
We are able to demonstrate to all of you gathered here today the initial version of the ASG Assured Life Mortality Table. I must say that I am honored and to announce that this effort would deliver Ghana's first locally developed insurance Assured Life Mortality Table after all the rounds of review from the various institutions is completed. This milestone would help improve pricing and reserving, and I dare say that it might help us reduce the undercutting that we experience in our industry.
Industry players say the mortality table will offer more reliable insights into Ghana's demographic patterns, helping insurers and pension managers design fairer products and better assess long-term risks. The Actuarial Society of Ghana's 2025 Actuarial Connect Conference was under the theme, Strengthening Actuarial Foundation for a Resilient Financial Service Industry. It brought together experts across the financial sector to explore ways of strengthening Ghana's pension and insurance industries.
Ghanaian businesses are being urged to harness the power of artificial intelligence to stay competitive in the global market. At the UK GCC EY Ghana webinar on AI, industry leaders shared their expertise on the transformative potential of AI. More in this report.
The webinar attracted a diverse range of participants, from entrepreneurs to policymakers, all eager to learn more about the potential of AI to drive Ghana's growth and development. Senior manager at EY Ghana, Elekplim Kichukwi, urged businesses to leverage machine learning algorithms to improve their services and make data-driven decisions.
Now, I think in a couple of years to come, leveraging on the back of the AI policy that has been developed for Ghana, most organizations can ride on the back of that to build in-house or to develop their own AI strategy as to how it naturally would affect their businesses and impact their businesses. But I think within a year or two, we should start seeing more organizations embed AI into their organizational culture.
Founder at Build a Company, Julian Owusu, urged the use of AI to drive innovation and efficiency.
So you basically plug it into your product, and it gives you data of how people are interacting with your product. So it will tell you what phones they're using, what is the size of their screens. It will tell you how long they're spending on each page. I think once you embed that into your product, you then have data, right? So when we look at AI, what is actually AI? What is it actually doing?
The webinar also highlighted the need for businesses to upskill and reskill their workforce to take advantage of AI opportunities.
And that's it for business for now. I am Pius Kojo Baka. That will be at 1 p.m. with the marketplace.
Bring you sports now on JoyNews Today with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah. Ghana Black Stars head coach Otto Addo believes that this international window, where the senior national team lost 2 consecutive matches to Asia opponents, Japan and South Korea, serves as a learning opportunity for the boys heading into the next international window before the FIFA World Cup in 2026. Speaking to the media after Ghana's 1-0 loss to South Korea on Tuesday, Otto Addo said that his team had gone through lots of difficulties. However, he's optimistic that they'll be ready for the World Cup.
So we had sometimes, especially in the first, problems when to press, who should press. But it's not so easy for the guys because they haven't played together for a longer time, and we had a lot of new players, so it was not easy for them to press, especially when South Korea overload one side, and we were too far away. And then it's the decision who goes to their fullback. Is it the winger, or is it our fullback, or is it number 6? And there sometimes the timing was not there, and that's why, especially in the first half, South Korea had more ball possession and created more chances. When we adapted to it in the second half, we did better then, and put a lot of also pressing into the game and better pressing. But surely, especially the first goal, killed a little bit our pressing and also our good game in the second half. It's difficult to compare because we played, first of all, we played a different system. But I think we had more chances today than against Japan. Japan, to be honest, they were very, very good. And if you see also the last game for a nation to beat Brazil, you have to be very, very good. And I think they are at the moment on a very, very high level. Brazil usually doesn't lose too much, and for them to beat Brazil, there you can see the quality they have. On a good day, you can see that Japan can beat everyone. And I think Ghana, but also South Korea, they're not there yet. For the World Cup, there's still some months to go for us to improve. Surely also in all aspects, in pressing and creating chances, but also not allowing chances. There's still room to improve, I think, for especially for Ghana.
Up next is Showbiz with Shola Adeyemi.
All the happenings in and around the world of entertainment. Let's get into our stories. Now, Ghanaian singer Jackie is opening up about making of her own album After Midnight, the challenges women continue to face in the music industry, and the major plan she has lined up for fans in 2026. Now, from the long creative process behind her standout track, Y2K Love, to her hopes for the year ahead, the singer is giving fans a glimpse of what's next for her career. Take a look at this video.
Jackie has revealed that out of the 17 songs on the After Midnight album, Y2K Love took the most time to perfect. The record tested her creativity but connected her to her roots.
That has to be Y2K Love. Yeah, we spent a lot of time working on that particular song because it was old school hip-hop R&B feel, so we had to make sure that anybody that listened to it would be able to feel the nostalgia. Plus I sampled my dad on that song, and big shouts to Omar Selling of RTBs for blessing this record with his verse.
Although many are of the view that the music industry doesn't favor women, Jackie believes hard work and building on one's craft will land women the recognition they deserve.
The whole conversation should now switch up, and we the girlies just have to keep going. I mean, we just have to keep working hard, we just have to keep dropping the music, and in the end, everybody will come around.
Jackie has spent the past year working on herself. She's ready to release songs that will make an impact in 2026.
I went into my shell to work on myself and work on my music and work on everything, and so right now we're really about to go on a whole different journey and expect more from Jackie and expect a lot of mind-blowing activities. Yeah.
Jackie further stated that winning awards at the 2026 Telesol Ghana Music Awards would be great, but she'll be fine if she doesn't.
Awards are very good for every artist, every creative. I mean, you would love to wake up in the morning and see some awards lying in your house and all of that. We've worked very hard. The project is solid, is a classic. Anyhow it turns out, me and my girls, me and my boys, me and my people, we're going to keep clocking it. We will keep clocking it.
Her signature concert live experience with Jackie returns after a 2-year break. The team is working to stage it before the year ends. This is meant to give fans more time with her on stage.
Live experience with Jackie has not happened in 2 years. This year we're planning. The time is quite short, but I'm trying my best to see, even if I'm not able to do the usual one we always do, I will try and do something intimate, but I'm working around the calendar to see if live experience with Jackie can happen this year, because I know my people are longing for it. Even me, I'm longing for it, so we should look forward to it for sure.
Well, moving away from that story to my next one, rapper Nicki Minaj is amplifying global concerns about attacks on Christians in Nigeria, taking her advocacy to a high-profile United Nations forum in New York. Now, speaking at an event supported by the senior U.S. officials, she urged the world leaders to strengthen protection for vulnerable communities, describing it as a moral responsibility rather than a political position. Her comments come amid growing tension between Washington and Abuja, with President Trump warning of possible consequences if Nigeria fails to address religious violence. Now, Minaj's intervention is now adding star power to an already heated diplomatic debate.
In way too many places. In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed. Churches have been burned. Families have been torn apart, and entire communities live in fear constantly, simply because of how they pray. Sadly, this problem is not only a growing problem in Nigeria, but also in so many other countries across the world, and it demands urgent action. And I want to be clear. Protecting Christians in Nigeria is not about taking sides or dividing people. It is about uniting humanity. Nigeria is a beautiful nation with deep faith traditions and lots of beautiful barbs that I can't wait to see. When one's church, mosque, or place of worship is destroyed, everyone's heart should break just a little bit. And the foundation of the United Nations, with its core mandate to ensure peace and security, should shake. I am joined here today by peace builders, by faith leaders, by those who saw violence, saw rising intolerance, saw the threats clearly before us, and chose not to look the other way.
Well, and that's it for Showbiz. For more Showbiz stories, please head to myjoyonline.com. I am Lois Sholademi. Over to you. Are you a Bab?
What's that?
Oh, you know, those of us who like hair, Nicki Minaj, but called Babs.
You're called
Barbie? Yeah, Babs.
Christ. I'm MFA Kosiadeti, really. Thank you so much for watching the news. That'll be all. And do visit myjoyonline.com. Please stay for Marketplace.